Hello everybody, this is Frédéric Billet and you are listening to An Hour in BA's Head, real people with real challenges teaching us real lessons. Hello everybody, welcome. Thank you so much for clicking the download button. I am talking to you from right here in Montreal, Quebec, Canada. I am a writer, I am a host, I am a friend, I am a partner, I am an animal lover, I am a tough guy, I'm a sensitive guy. I do what I want and I do it when I want it. Shout out to all my Facebook followers, all my Twitter followers, my email subscribers from all 5 continents. Thank you. Hey, this list is growing and growing and growing. And I can't tell you how grateful I am. And people, stay tuned because there are great gifts coming in the coming weeks. I guarantee you it. All right, this podcast is about entering the minds and the souls of real people, facing real challenges, teaching us real lessons. It is your podcast. It is a personal journal podcast. It's a live podcast. It is free. Every time you download it on iTunes, please go over there and subscribe. It is listener supported and fan supported. So the way you can do that is tell a friend, leave a review on iTunes, or for more info, podcasts, articles, and latest news, you can find me at FrédéricBay.com. You can also find me on Twitter at ByFred or on Facebook. Simply type in my name, followed by writer, Frédéric Billet, writer, and you will be set. All right, for those of you who don't know me, I have a blog that drops every Tuesdays and Thursdays. And this week's blogs, actually last week's blogs, were very personal blogs. The first one was the title was, I'm married, but he's not happy. That's right. Have you ever had a family relative who refused to attend your wedding or any type of important event? In my opinion and the opinion of others, it happened to everybody, and oftentimes they are for ridiculous reasons. And that's exactly what happened to me. I got married 2 weeks ago, and one of the most important person in my family refused to come. All the details are in the blog. I know you won't believe it, but it happened. And I know it happened to a lot of you out there. The second blog is the I Don't Quit poem. That's right. It is one of my favorite poems, and I go back to it over and over again when I need confidence or motivation or anything else that needs a boost, in my mind, in my heart, in my soul. And you know what? I want to share it with you, and I know it is a very inspiring poem, and you will love it. This week's subject is how I lost over 100 pounds and kept it. That's right. We have very, very interesting guests. So today we're going to talk about this Wednesday's podcast. We're going to have 2014 INBF Eastern Bodybuilding Champ and his wife. And I'm also going to share with you a book review, one of my favorite books of all time. Every book review is one of my favorite books of all time, but this one is incredible. So let's start off with this Wednesday's podcast. It was a fascinating interview. I learned a lot, and I know you will learn a lot too. Basically, we're going to be joined by 2014 INBF Eastern Bodybuilding Champ and private trainer Rocelyn Secours Jean and his wife Annie Gosselin. She is a manager and she is a mother. You will hear it from the horse's mouth. Man, these two went out there and did it. So you will receive tips and advice on probably the number one thing people want, which is lose weight. And this Wednesday, we will talk about Actually, Annie will share exactly what she did to lose her weight, including the importance of the mental attitude. She will tell us how she maintained her weight. This is one of the major things that I hear from people who want to lose weight. They lose it, but they gain it back. And finally, we're going to talk to Rocelyn, who is also her trainer. And he will tell you the most important advice for people who are looking to get in better shape. It was a captivating interview. So we're going to talk about all of that and more. All right, this week's book review. People, the title is Ageless Body Timeless Mind, published by Harmony. And it's a book on health, fitness, and alternative medicine. That's right. Why did I pick this book for this week's subject? Well, because it covers subjects that I am passionate about and that I deeply believe in. First, it focuses on the effect of the mind on the body, which many experts say is the main cause of our physical illness. This theory is becoming more and more popular in our culture. And in my opinion, we should pay attention to it. Deepak Chopra advised many famous people, many important people, like Michael Jackson, Hilary Clinton, and Lady Gaga, among others. I will summarize the book for you. Basically, the author wants to convince you that you are much more than your limited body, ego, and personality. In reality, the field of human life is open and unbounded. At its deepest level, your body is ageless. Your mind is timeless. That's right. Once you identify with that reality, which is consistent with the quantum worldview, aging will fundamentally change. You will be fascinated by this. I guarantee you it. It inspires us to think differently about the connection between our physical and mental health. Deepak draws on the most important elements of philosophy, biology, quantum science, and ancient wisdom to demonstrate that the effects of aging are largely preventable. That's right. I know I caught your attention here. Through proper care and nutrition, we can learn to reverse the aging process and remain vital, creative, energetic individuals throughout our entire lives. Step by step, we'll learn how to craft individually tailored regimens that include stress reduction, dietary changes, and exercise to easily achieve maximum living and exceptionally good health. This book is about achieving unbounded physical and spiritual potential. Hey, you know what? My first reaction when I read that book, I had ahas after ahas after ahas. I was enlightened. I mean, it was spiritual nourishment. Deepak is one of, if not my favorite, self-help author or non-fiction author. Truth resonates with every one of his sentences. And I read that book from cover to cover in no time, and I was immersed in that book. And I know that if you listen to this show, you will too. Let me tell you why I loved that book. His direct approach to giving advice, it's not dogma. Deepak is a universal person. He is not part of any religion. He gives advice based on research and his own experience. He is a doctor. He is easy to read, and I love how he clearly defines our internal struggles mentally and spiritually. His honesty comes through in this book. He puts his money where his mouth is. It is a little bit of an old book. It was written in the 90s, but I can assure you that it's still current and fresh. And Deepak, to this day, backs up his facts. The issues that the book raised. Well, first, aging. It's most people are afraid of that, right? So he addresses that. He addresses, obviously, health, mental and spiritual, the regeneration of our bodies. Hey, the way he explains it, you'll be fascinated. And he also talks about creativity. The negatives as a fan, the only negative I can say is I would have liked it to go longer. I would have read more of that book. It's a short book. It's a small book. Let me read you an excerpt from page 73 and page 139 that I think you will love. Millions of Westerners wrongly assume that meditation is non-physical, something you do in your head. Unfortunately, our culture has made the mistake of deciding that the human body is a machine, an inert lump of matter that works without any intelligence of its own. This kind of prejudice against the body runs contrary to the way that nature fashioned us. Nature balanced mind, body, and spirit as co-creators of our personal reality. When the material, psychological, and spiritual dimensions are brought into balance, life becomes whole, and this union brings feelings of comfort and security. Only if you feel sure of your place in the universe can you begin to face the fact that you are surrounded by creation and destruction as they constantly play themselves out. You cannot defeat entropy as a physical force, but you can rise to a level of realization that is not touched by entropy. Isn't that deep? And doesn't it resonate with you in some way? Page 139. Finally, what is a timeless mind and how does it influence the biological clock? More and more, I've become convinced that our experience of time directly influences the activity of such a clock. If you're running out of time, your biological clock will speed up. If you have all the time in the world, your biological clock will slow down. In moments of transcendence, when time stands still, your biological clock will stop. The spirit is that domain of our awareness where there's no time. Time is the continuity of memory, which uses the ego as an internal reference point. When we go beyond our ego and enter the realm of our spirit, we break the barrier of time. Ultimately, both the quality and quantity of life depend on our sense of identity. If we have meaning and purpose in our lives and our identity is not tied to a skin-encapsulated ego, then both the reality and quantity of life will be dramatically enhanced. Listen, overall, this book is a must-read. It was written simply. It is easily understandable, which I think is a huge plus. His passion and belief in education comes through here, ladies and gentlemen. Spiritual enlightenment is definitely present in this work. What I got out of it, well, first is self-control. Then the importance of taking care of my mind and spirit and the impact it will have on our bodies. Go pick it up right now. Deepak is a great writer. I love Deepak Chopra. I read most of his books, and you will hear more from his books on this show. Last thing I want to say, people, take care of yourself. This Wednesday, 2014 INBF Eastern Bodybuilding Champion and private trainer Rocelyn Secours Jean and his wife, Annie Gosselin, manager and mother. That's all for today. Thank you for listening, and I hope you found it helpful. If you want to listen to more episodes, you can visit frédéricbaye.com/podcast. If you'd like to connect, you can also tweet me @byfred, or you can find me on Facebook @Frédéric by writer. And remember, live with purpose, passion, and love.